Okay, match number 1. You have a good hand. 2-drop into another 2-drop probably, or maybe evoke a Muldrifter if we absolutely have to. And then eventually emerge out this It of the Horde Swarm. Opponent mulligan to 6, put a card on top. Secluded Step. Likely playing against a Jeskai list. Maybe a Slivers list now that they've played a Forest. We shall see. Alright, it is a Slivers list. So, with no interaction in our deck besides the Epic Confrontations, that means that we are going to need to find those Epic Confrontations to defeat the Lords. They have 3 different unique Lords, and they play all 4 of them every time. So that means they have 12 Lords in their deck, effectively. And they can get out of hand very quickly, as you might guess, if they have multiples on the table. Got lucky there with Coiling Oracle hitting the land. That means next turn we'll be on 4 mana, and we can Llanowar Empath if we like, or we can go Oracle plus Visionary. We're going to have choices. Hopefully our opponent gives us the opportunity to block in the future and trade off with these Lords. Though I would expect at least a couple combat tricks or fight spells from a deck like this. Slivers is not generally considered a tier 1 deck, so you don't see it that often. I think I've played against it a maximum of maybe 1 time in all of our recorded videos before for playing Pauper, so I'm not sure exactly what their list looks like. Hive Strains, okay. These are 2/2s due to the Lord here. Alright, so I have a choice between a 4-drop or 2 2-drops. 2 2-drops I can block with 2 creatures, and then the next turn, if I hit an untapped land, I can emerge out and It of the Horde Swarm, sacrificing the last 2-drop. If I play the 4-drop here, I'm less likely to get an untapped land on 5. Because I'm going to be looking for a creature with these scry so I can draw it for free. So I think I have to go with 2 2-drops here. Let's start with the Coiling Oracle, see if I hit a land. If I hit an untapped land, I might just play the Seagate Oracle instead, since it's basically strictly better than the Elvish Visionary. Oh, it's a tap land. Still, that's very good for us. We got quite lucky with these 2 Coiling Oracles to both hit lands. Alright. Play another card. Pass the turn. And here it is on turn 3 with 3 creatures and 5 lands. We're going to hit our 6th land drop on turn 4 and be able to emerge out our It of the Horde Swarm if even one of our creatures survives. And this should be a pretty good blocker, hopefully, against the Slivers. Alright. We got the Toughness Lord. It's a 1-drop. Poison Lord, okay. 10 hits now means I'm dead instead of just 20 life, or 21 life now. And all Slivers have flanking, which means blocking creatures get -1 and -1. Alright, so I can chump block here. I can't triple block because they'll all shrink down to 0. So the question is whether I want to throw away a creature at this juncture. It'd probably be better to throw my creatures away later, whenever these Slivers get even larger after they play another Lord, perhaps. They are down to 1 card in hand because they've dumped their hand. There's also the chance that I'm able to get this flanking Sliver off the table by top decking a fight spell, in which case these 1/1s will be a lot more useful to me. So I'm just going to take the 4 damage here. 4 damage and 2 poison. So I have to pay attention to my life total and my poison total because I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be easier for them to try to kill us first. Alright, so I can go Muldrifter, tap land. This helps me dig toward a fight spell quicker, so I can take out one of these 3 Lords, whichever I think is best at the time. I could play Seagate Oracle and potentially have the mana left over for a fight spell. But that doesn't really do that much for me because then I can only fight with 2 power, which doesn't take out anything on their side right now. But I think the best option is still untap land, emerge out it of the Horde Swarm, since it's the best blocker, even after flanking is a 3/3 and it can eat an attacker unless they do something about it. And they're only going to have 2 cards in hand to potentially do something about it. So, because this could potentially just stop all of their attacks, I am going to try it. Oh, and it appears I miscounted. I could have played a tap land there. The emerge cost is 1 cheaper than the full cost, which I knew, but I messed up on. So we get to leave one of these undone. Obviously, these 1/1s are a lot less useful than they would normally be because of flanking, but they still do chump block. And let's see if our opponent can get past a 4/4. Alright, Virulent Sliver number 2. This does stack, so they each have 2 instances of poison now. So if 4 creatures get through this turn, we lose. Journey to Nowhere on our 4/4, going down to 0 cards in hand. Which means we have to chump block, I think, 3 or 4 creatures this turn to not die. Yeah, I think we're going to lose this game. So yeah, I can only let 3 creatures in here. And I'll go to 8 poison, so poop, poop, poop. And I actually should keep around my 2 mana card. You always want to save your highest converted mana cost cards for emerging out other cards later. I don't think I can win whether or not I chump block here, but I'll save it just in case. Go up to 8 poison, 11 life. Coiling Oracle. So yeah, I can't win, right? I'm dead to any 2 creatures. Let's play Muldrifter for full value and assume I'm going to draw a fight spell and an untapped land so I can get a Virulent Sliver off the table and then block 2 more things and I would still die to poison, so no, that's not going to work. Alright. Slivers has taken down game 1. Alright, out of the sideboard, don't need access to any of these. They're not playing blue, so the Winged Sliver for flying is not going to be an issue, so Stormbound Geist is definitely not interesting, as is Aerial Volley. Gleeful Sabotage doesn't do anything. Tangle could definitely be good against an aggro deck like this. When we're both trying to race each other, this can be a huge tempo swing. So what am I going to take out for it? Llanowar Empath is a little bit slow. It's one of my favorite cards to sideboard out in most matches, except for very heavy value matches that are going to last a long time. Yep, and I think I'll run it like this. Okay, game 2. Get to be on the play. Alright, this hand is a little awkward. Turn 1 Forest, do nothing. Turn 2 Simic Grill Chamber, do nothing. But then after that it gets pretty good. We have a fight spell. Our hand will be good if we have lands. Coiling Oracle will help us find lands. So I'm going to keep. Epic Confrontation really is such an efficient fight spell. Even if with our 1/1s, they get to fight us 2/3s and take out 2/2s successfully, which is very good. So next turn we can Fierce Empath or Coiling Oracle. It's actually funny how similar our decks are. We are both 2 color, one of those colors is green, aggressive / mid-range decks with very little interaction, who have a decent number of 1 and 2 drop creatures. Of course, their 1 and 2 drop creatures are used for buffing their other creatures and for attacking, and ours are used for sacrificing to our 7 and 8 drop emerge creatures, but all in all, we have quite similar game plans. Alright, so they get to play a Flanking Sliver and a Poisonous Sliver, which means neither of our creatures can block profitably. They can just die as soon as they're blocked. This is better at helping us find lands, so I want to play it. But this is a 3-drop, so it's better on our mana. And it means we can cast Wretched Gryff next turn by sacrificing this. I think I have to go with the 3-drop play. I think that just makes more sense. Right now I'm going to go get another Wretched Gryff. It would be nice to have the versatility, but against flanking, the tokens don't do as much. When I'm light on lands, it's easier to cast the Emerge 6 than the Emerge 7. So I'm just going to grab another one. And if I really need another, I'll probably have time to cast this Fierce Empath to go get a hit at the Horde Swarm first. Alright, Predatory Sliver, another Lord here, which means they get to hit us for 4 and 2 poison. I'm going to have Wretched Gryff blocking as a 2/3 and hope that's enough to hold them back and that they don't have another Journey to Nowhere. Another referring to the Journey from the first game. They haven't showed us one this game yet, obviously. Alright, and we got a Simic Growth Chamber. See what else we can draw. Elvish Mystic. Going to be discarding the hand size here. Fierce Empath is pretty slow, and we already have big things to cast. That might be the one that needs to go away. I think I'll get rid of that. Elvish Mystic could also be a consideration, but the mana could be nice. And it's a cheap chump blocker if we need it. Okay, Vigilant Sliver, I'm not too worried about that. It does attack through this since it's a 3/3 attacking into effectively a 2/3. This is what I'm worried about. Okay, so this means even our Wretched Gryff block here would be a chump block. Which means we can't do it. Which means we have to take 9 and 3 poison. And then untap, go Elvish Mystic, Confrontation, Confrontation, and kill 2 things. And hope that that's enough. Why are they only attacking with 1? Flanking does mean that this blocks as a 2/3. And so these are safe to attack. They even have Vigilance. Oh well. I guess we just save 6 life and 2 poison. Alright, so I almost certainly want to go with the double confrontation play here. I'm going to attack, have 4 power, be a 4/6, and then a 5/8. So I can take up to 7 damage, which means I can kill whatever I want, in whatever order I want. The obvious choices are the 2 lords. That would mean that they would only have a 1/1, a 1/1, and a 2/2. They'd still have flanking, however, which is quite annoying. Can I get away with only killing 1 power toughness pumping lord and also getting rid of, say, the flanking lord? Vigilance is also annoying because of Tangle, but I haven't drawn one yet, so flanking really is quite annoying, but I think I still have to get rid of 2 lords here and leave the flanking for now. So, boop, boop. If I don't, then I'll have a 3/4 against a 2/2, a 3/3, and a 2/2, so I should still be able to hold down the fort and have enough life left to be able to do that. If they have removal, though, then I really need to get rid of this to have any chance of surviving. Alright, getting rid of the Lord again. Even though that flanking one is annoying. Play my Elvish Mystic and pass. I have 6 mana next turn. And we'll see what we can do with it. Hive Stirring's okay. Eventually, if they can get 7 unblocked creatures through, they can just win with poison. Or 4 if they get a second Virulent Sliver down, so that's kind of scary. Seagate Oracle seems good. I can Seagate Oracle, and then I can sacrifice the Seagate Oracle to play another Wretched Gryff, which blocks well. Or I could see what I draw off Seagate Oracle and do something else. Thornwood Falls. Gains me life. It's a land. That's good. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Sacrifice that. The card flow in this deck is really good whenever it gets going. Alright, I'm up to 7 mana, 2 good blockers, so even a single Journey to Nowhere shouldn't bother me too much. Double Vigilance doesn't matter. They're down to 0 cards in hand. Okay, so I should have time to find some more epic confrontations and get rid of either poison or flanking or whatever's bothering me the most at the time. I just need to find a way to be able to start attacking in the air and pressuring them before they top deck enough Lords and Journey to Nowhere to get out of this situation. Alright, I'm not exactly sure why they're attacking here. I'm going to have a 2-3 and a 2-3 blocking. I'm going to kill 2 of their things for no value to them except for 2 damage and 2 poison. Poison is not poisonous is not like infect, so it's not going to deal -1/-1 counters to my creatures. So unless I'm missing something very big, this is going to be fine for me. I'm going to deal 2 damage and sacrifice 2 of their important creatures to do it. Alright, 2 damage, 2 poison. Yep, that attack worked out great for me. Alright, so I have 8 mana here if I want to tap the Elvish Mystic. I would like to get this Muldrifter down as quickly as possible, establish more power in the air, have a good blocker. Seagate Oracle could also be good, though. Let's start off with Muldrifter, shall we? Oh, a Tangle. It's not good yet because they still have Vigilance. It's still good as a Fog. It doesn't. Its untapped clause doesn't really mean anything right now. I also get a Seagate Oracle down, or I can play a Coiling Oracle and have Elvish Mystic still up. I don't really want to be blocking with Elvish Mystic though, so I'll just cast a Seagate Oracle. I don't need Tangle yet this turn, most likely. Wretched Griff over another land. Okay. They no longer have flanking, so I'm going to attack with 1 Wretched Griff. I think these are more than sufficient blockers. I could even attack with the other Wretched Griff if I want, but I don't want to get too greedy when I have 5 cards in hand to their 0. Alright. They drew a Lord. Still should not have good attacks though, since I'm at 12 life and 5 poison, so I still have a little bit of room to work with, and this can eat either of these creatures if it attacks, and I'm sure they don't want that. Okay, looks like they are going to attack. Well, I'm going to take one of these for free. I'm probably just going to trade off. I'll take 2 damage, 1 poison, and I'm going to kill 2 of their creatures. Gets rid of the poison, so unless they top deck more poison, my poison total is going to become effectively irrelevant for now. And I'm going to have a Tangle and 10 life to work with. Alright, what do I want to do here? I think I just want as many chump blockers as possible on the ground so I can attack into the air. So Coiling Oracle. Ooh, Epic Confrontation, that's a good one. Coiling Oracle. Thornwood Falls. Epic Confrontation down the Lord. I'll leave up Tangle instead of casting something else. And I'll attack with all these. If they want to trade, I'll gladly trade my 1/1s for their 1/1s. Okay, they conceded. Alright, we're on the draw. Our opponent mulliganed. We're going to keep this hand even though we don't have any emerge creatures. We don't really have anything big to do, no Muldrifters either. But we have the power of turn 1 Mystic, turn 2 Wayfinder, going to have plenty of lands for forever, decent blockers on the ground, and as long as they don't have flanking very early, these 2/2s can be traded off against their slivers. So, all right, and we have an emerge creature too, so we can sacrifice one of these wayfinders if we like. All right, they lead with a Lord. We get to play a Civic Wayfinder. I already have 2 green sources, so I'm going to go get another blue source. Pass a turn. And if they don't play anything pre-combat, I will attempt to block here if they attack. They haven't shown us any combat tricks yet. The only interaction they've shown us is Journey to Nowhere. Hive Stirrings, okay. Not going to trade with our 2/2, that makes sense. So here I could go tap land, Wretched Gryph, sacrificing Civic. I could play second Civic, so that even through flanking I could double block. Through a single flanking or a single Lord, I could still double block and kill the Sinew Sliver. I would have to sacrifice both of them in the case that they had flanking. But it would probably still be worth it. So do I need to get this down early, or do I want to get more value with the Civics first? I think value with Civics is a fine way to go. Go get a forest to complement our mountain. And I actually can play Growth Chamber as well instead of Falls, but I think I want to play Falls first. Not exactly sure what I want to pick up yet, and Muldrifter and Wretched Gryph could potentially combine to give me a hand size of over 8, so I don't want to pick up a land right now. Additionally, playing this first means I get the option to pick up a Simic Growth Chamber and gain another life later. Right, there's a Lord. If that's the only thing they have, they still can't attack profitably. Oh, a second Lord, okay. So now I'd have to double block a Lord just to get one off the table, although that's probably still worth it. Okay, they're not going to give me the option. So do I take 8 here, or do I sacrifice 2 of my 3 drops to get a single one of these off the table? I think I can't afford to take 8. I can always block next turn, most likely, if I really have to. So I'll just take the 8, face 20 power on the board, and plan to block next turn. Alright, so here I have 5 mana. That means I can't cast Wretched Gryph unless I sacrifice one of my Wayfinders. I could play a Muldrifter. It's a decent chump blocker and helps me find removal. Unfortunately, a fight spell right now isn't even that good, because I can't actually kill any of their creatures until I get the Wretched Gryph down as well. So I think that means I have to play the Wretched Gryph here. And hope to draw a top fight spell as early as possible. Nope, basic land. Alright, well, let's play Coiling Oracle then. Keep digging through our deck. And I'm going to have to do some chump blocks this turn. I could go double block plus chump, and still I would take 12 down to 13. Alright, Toughness Lord, 1 card left in hand. Let's see what it is. Oh my goodness, yet another Lord. Am I just dead no matter what? Do I have to triple chump here? I think I do. Yeah, if I don't triple chump block, then I'm going to take 15. So, I think we're losing this match, unfortunately. Yep, taking 10. Blocking any differently leads to me taking 15 or more, so. Excellent. Well, that's the power of having 3 different unique, so a total of 12 cards in your deck that are 2 mana 2/2 Lords. We just did not have enough interaction, and so we lost. Alright, let's concede. Congratulate our opponent and move on to the next match.